Welcome, everyone, to the Collective Compass movement.
All right, you guys, what's up? It's Leslie, and I'm back with another biohack myth for you guys. And today's biohack myth is that I don't need boundaries to self-elevate. Not having the right boundaries will equal serious stress. Stress is one of the biggest hurdles when you're trying to self-elevate. If you're trying to take your authentic life back, that comes with so much stress as it is. But stress from not having any boundaries can make you sound like you have the victim mentality. And stress of no boundaries can make you sound like you are a complete self-sabotage. So if you're in the process of self-elevating and making serious positive change because you want to accomplish certain life goals or create a certain level of fulfillment in your life and take your authentic life back, I hope that you get so much value from this video, because learning how to have the right boundaries is going to be really crucial to you being able to reach all of the goals and visions that you have. Definitely leave your biggest takeaway or any question that you have about boundaries in the comments. So here are some boundary truths. The more you know your authentic self, the more you feel connected to your authentic self, the more you're going to know what your boundaries are. You have to know the boundaries that create the vision that you're elevating into. You cannot think your way around broken boundaries. You cannot fake your boundaries. The hole in the boat is going to cause it to sink. Leaky gut is your gut lining allowing poop particles to seep out into your body. Those are just two random quick examples of serious problems that happen when boundaries get broken. And the last boundary truth is that your boundaries need work. When you are experiencing anxiety, depression, mental fatigue, healthy boundaries create healthy relationships, environments, and lives. So now I'm going to answer the most commonly asked questions from my boundary work sessions. What kinds of boundaries are there? Why do you need them? Where do you need them? Who can it feel hard for? And how do you make it feel easier? So what kinds of boundaries do you need for real? Mental, physical, emotional, and energetic. These are my four. This is how I process the boundaries that I need. So you may have heard it explained in different types of categories, or you just may lump it all into one. But at the Collective Compass, we've got 4 areas of boundary work. And again, those are mental, physical, emotional, and energetic. If you need more clarity around what your actual boundaries are, then you can go to the Collective Compass Movement website and use a really powerful tool that will help you reconnect to what your authentic needs are. It will give you a journaling guide to be able to process some of the things that you're feeling like you need clarity on. So you definitely want to check out that free tool. So there's a lot that we can't control in life, but here's what we can control. We control how we react and respond to life. And we control how we best protect ourselves with boundaries. So the next question, why do we need boundaries to fully self-elevate? To protect your authentic self and your authentic needs. To keep yourself positive and balanced. To protect yourself from stress impact. And protect your mindset from negativity. Where do you need your boundaries? You need boundaries that go around your authentic self and your inner voice, so you don't lose that sound of your inner voice. You need them in the relationships with your family, in the relationships with your kids, in the relationship with your partner, and in the relationship you have to your work. So who is this hard for? Who is boundary work going to feel really hard for? Me. No, seriously, me. Fixers. Empaths, people that are codependent, if you're insecure, if you're controlling, and also if you're self-elevating. So how can you make it feel easier? You can work on self-trust, reconnect with your authentic self, and learn what your boundaries are. You can develop self-awareness so you can feel where you need to create a boundary, and you can feel when your boundaries are being triggered. You can learn to flip your insecurity into self-growth and self-love by remembering what you're gaining from your boundary and by taking action and actually doing the work for real. Nothing will create more anxiety than you giving yourself the illusion that you're really creating boundaries or that you're doing the work. You have to be real with yourself in this process. You really have to truly do the work to know what your boundaries are and then really work hard to protect them by communicating with other people around you and people that you love to connect to what your boundaries are. You really have to reteach people how to treat you, and this can feel so hard. So I know there's going to be times where it's going to feel so challenging and so impossible to keep your boundaries in place. But if you always remember what you're gaining by doing the work, and you can be honest with yourself that you're really holding yourself accountable and you're taking the action and you're trying to find your way through the process, then just recognize where you really have been doing the work and let yourself celebrate the progress that you've made. Doing boundary work is so hard. It is literally one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. And so I understand what it takes out of you mentally, physically, energetically, emotionally, just to have to tell somebody what a boundary of yours is. I know this can be really overwhelming. So just give yourself some grace and some love. The more that you focus on what you're gaining from putting these boundaries into place, the more you have that in your face all the time to focus on when it starts to feel uncomfortable, the more successful you're going to be and the more confidence you're going to build when you start taking action. You're going to feel like you're failing forward at first, but it's just part of the process. So I really hope this video is supportive for any of you guys that are struggling with doing your boundary work. I promise you can get through the process. It will feel more comfortable and it's going to help you elevate into your authentic vision. You cannot feel like you're taking your authentic life back without creating boundaries around your authentic self and your authentic vision. Give yourself permission to put your well-being first. Give yourself permission to put your health first and your happiness first. You can also work with a guide. You can work with someone that can walk you through the process. I was one of the first in my family to heal patterns of broken boundaries. I have actually learned from a lifetime of trying to be able to learn what my boundaries are and to really learn how to protect them and honor them and assert them and affirm them. And it's so challenging and it's so difficult, especially when it's really wired deep in your spirit to give more thought to other people's feelings than your own. And if you really like to avoid any type of confrontation, if you're sensitive to discussing your emotions, then it can be really challenging and you're just going to have to let yourself just be really vulnerable when it comes to expressing what your boundaries are. So I want to share everything that I've learned to help support other moms and other women that are doing their work to self-elevate and make all this positive change and take their authentic life in their own hands. If you are struggling with boundary work, you don't have to learn through decades of trial and error. You can really connect with somebody that has done so much of the work and knows how to guide you through it. If you're struggling with a pain point related to boundaries, if you are struggling with an urgent source of discomfort that is throwing you off track, that is causing you to have to take a pause, if you're starting to feel so much anxiety that it's causing mental fatigue or it's about to burn you out, do not wait to get help. You can get guidance right now. You can get your invitation to my 1-hour elevator session, and I will guide you through the process of gaining some self-awareness around your boundaries. I'm going to put the link in the description box below. You can get guided through an urgent pain point related to having broken boundaries, and you can feel relief and find clarity. Thank you guys so much for listening. If this biohack myth video helped clarify something for you, please share that with me in the comments. I love hearing what really was helpful, and definitely go to the website if you want any free tools related to learning what your authentic needs are and how you can create really serious boundaries for you to Self Elevate. Follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and stay tuned next week for another Biohack Myth video.